the law. It's just the way it works. So that's what we're talking about today, how the law works. And Richard, why are you dressed up like you're out of the
Well,
60s?
here's the thing. I'm just really confused. I went through a time machine, and all of a sudden I ended back up in the 60s when I was like, 50 years younger. And I looked in the mirror and I'm going, what the heck
What
is
the
going on here? So, anyways, that's it. I
you're
have
look,
no idea. I have
you're
no
looking
idea
very
how it all happened.
60s. You're looking very 60s, and we'll have a story about that later.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we're talking today about how life works. And we're only here for about 20 minutes. So we're going to give you an overview. We're going to discuss it more in the inner circle with a bunch of folks who actually really have used and experienced this stuff. We're looking forward to it. But the idea is that there is a universal law, and there's a process for how thoughts launch in their energy into that universal law, and things come out of it, not just manifestations, but experiences, other vibrations come from it. And in science of mind, there's a it's very much like the idea of taking a seed, putting it in the soil, and out comes a plant. If you put in sunflower seed thoughts, great, out comes a sunflower seed plant. If you put in sunflower seed thoughts and want a pumpkin tree, you're not going to get that. You're putting the thoughts into that subjective, what we call the subjective consciousness, that soil, that fertile soil of creativity. I love that. And it goes in, it percolates, and it comes out as our experience in life, whether that be relationships, our body temple, the world we live in, the home we live in, our abundance. All of this is a manifestation of thought, including things, and we'll get to this in the inner circle, like wars and all kinds of stuff, peace, all kinds of stuff, birth, all kinds of stuff. That's what comes through this manifestation. So it's like this intention, understanding goes into the law, and out through this divine flow comes manifestation.
Exactly. So it
It's
works. I always look at it, with my infinite filmmaker teachings that you write the seed is your script that you're writing. Every time you speak a thought, speak a word, have a thought, take an action towards something. That's planting the seed, what you call a seed in the garden. Well, it's the infinite filmmaker picks up on that screenplay that you're writing every time you're acting upon something, and then it creates out of that, and then you get the movie of your life. Hopefully that explains it too.
absolutely, it's a great metaphor. It's a great metaphor. We're whether you're whatever we're doing, we're composing, we're writing, we're experiencing, we're intending our life, and we use the medium to create that intention, our thoughts. And we're talking about thoughts. We're also talking about on the thing that really guides the thoughts, the things that gives the thoughts the power, is the feeling tone behind those thoughts. That feeling tone, that vibration that you come up, there's an emotional connection to these consistent, not stray thoughts, the consistent thought. Some people go like, oh my God, I thought that, now I'm going to manifest it. Really has to do with intention to manifest, and feeling behind that intention, and then consistent thinking. Not stray thoughts here and there, but really consistent thinking. And I'm not talking about human thinking. It's like, okay, I'm whole, perfect, and I'm complete. I'm whole, person, perfect, and complete. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. Well, the words "I'm whole, perfect, and complete" are wonderful words. It's the feeling tone behind them
Yeah.
that allows this to launch into the universal law. That's what we call the universal law. And it's wonderful for me to just picture it vibrating not only around me, but as Dean Lewis Regan.
Well said. Perfect. You know, in your life's movie, every thought, is a scene that's being written and created. And the law doesn't judge the content. It just says action, and the movie starts going, for your life. And whatever you impress upon the universal mind gets imprinted on the film reel of your life. Now, when I say imprinted on the universal mind, I go a little deeper in that. And this may be too deep for our audience, but our minds, an infinite mind, is one mind, one intelligence. Okay, because we're all connected to it. We're unique, individualized emanations of it. So when we think a thought, infinite mind picks up on that thought and creates out of it. And it's using its unlimited power to be able to do that. And that power is within each and every one of us through our consciousness, through our actions, through our belief system. If you believe it, if you believe that this mountain can fall into the ocean, then it will. Which the master was talking about. So it's the law is what takes our thought and puts it into action, creates out of it.
Yep.
And it's infallible. You can't change it. It's the law. It's powerful. It's there. It's available for us to use, and we use it every time we think a thought. We're using it. If you get things in your life that you don't want to experience, and you're going, well, why am I experiencing this? Because you set the law into motion for that thing. It doesn't.
And when we say that, when we say you set the law into motion for that experience, it comes from an impersonal awareness. It's not, you set the law. You look what you did. Oh, good for you. Or, oh, look what you did. Shame on you. It's really impersonal. It's like I took a seed, I put it into the soil. Whether the soil likes me or not is not something that comes into play or not. There's no judgment involved. It just plants. You water it with additional thoughts, with that intention, the emotion behind it. There's a little bit more involved in this. I see the thoughts as being nurtured through love, through an intention for creativity, through an intention of oneness, and they manifest. Now, if you put them in an intention of separateness, resistance, they also manifest as separateness or the appearance thereof and resistance. There is only one intelligence. But if you are going to create something through your fear, doubt, worry, you can create something that seems out of alignment. It's just what you put in comes out. What you put in with feeling and consistency comes out.
And the metaphor that you use, the seed in the soil. If you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. You're not going to get an orange tree.
Yep.
Okay. It's like whatever seed you plant in the movie of your life, you're going to get a love story. What kind of genre do you want to create in your movie? A horror film, a love story, a mystery? What is it that you want to create in your life? Plant that seed so you can get that. So you don't get the apple tree. You don't get an orange tree from an apple seed. You're going to get an orange.
You're going to get an orange tree. And it's the same thing with the movie of your life, as you say, or that symphonic awareness. I move in terms of music and that symphonic awareness, that symphonic expression of life. You've got this sense of being able to play the music that brings you joy. You put it into the law and it brings you. And as Rich said, this infallible, it brings you something that it can be even greater than what you have put in. For the infinite intelligence is working on our behalf. I believe the infinite intelligence is always conspiring for my good, always conspiring for my good. And like what you were saying, Rich, when you write the movie of your life, what about the movie whose topic is abundance? If you write whatever you're writing about the movie of your life, or whatever symphonic awareness you're bringing into your life of abundance, plenty of abundance, not so much abundance, whatever you bring into your life in this consistent thought and The feeling, there's a lot of feeling sometimes on the human level about money. There's a lot of feeling going on about that. So you bring on this feeling of, okay, I don't have enough, but I want more. I don't have enough, but I want more. I want more because I don't have enough. And that tension brings you an experience, a script or a symphony that has a low experience of abundance.
Yeah.
So you open up that top, you open up the idea, you open up the music or that story that you're writing, and you create this abundance experience through the feeling tone of what you intend for yourself.
And it's an inside job. If you want to
Yes.
create more abundance in your life, become abundant. If you want to create more love in your life, become loving. If you want to create more joy in your life, become more joyful. And then all of a sudden, it'll just appear in your life.
Yeah.
And so, it's what do you want to aim your camera at, in the movie called Life? Lack, limitation, fear, frustration. Well, guess what? What kind of a scene is going to show up in your movie? Fear, lack, limitation. But when you shift to trust and gratitude and you're on purpose, you call in the scenes that are filled with love and synchronicity and joy and growth. And it's just like, who said it? I heard Reverend Michael say it. You have to become the thing that you want to experience. You have to feel it inside, get in, like you said, in the feeling tone of that thing you want to experience. Are you talking about lack and limitation? Are you talking
Become
about
the thing that you want to experience, which brings us back to Richard. So, Richard, what is the thing that you are wanting to experience? What is that beingness that you are wanting to experience that is reflected? And I'm not kidding here because it is. I know the story here. It is reflected. What is being reflected in the way you showed up to News Thought Tuesdays today, dressed as a 60s DJ with all.
there you go. Coming to you from the 1960s. Woodstock. So listen, but here's the thing. There's a lot of unrest going on right now politically in this country. And I want to bring more peace and joy and harmony. Well, like we said, whatever you have to become the thing you want to experience. If you want to experience more peace and harmony in your political environment, in your country, you want to see freedom rather than authoritarianism. You want to see more of a democratic, you become that. And so I put together a coalition, spiritual coalition for entertainment professionals, you guys out there that are in the entertainment business. And we get together every weekend and we go to not protests, but rallies. And, lately I've been going and I got a new boom box and I play the 60s Woodstock music and I got my sign up there and I just sit down and people come around me and we start talking about how do you create more peace in this world? Because it's the healing of the soul of America, I believe, that we need to in order to fight this with, people looking at it like it's a fascist takeover of the government. We need more peace and see it in a different way. And then it will become that. We have to heal the soul of America. We have to find more love and compassion and acceptance and peace. And when we do that, we experience that, everybody around us will start to experience that. And that's what my coalition is all about. To get people, I dress like the 60s, the whole free, freedom. Back in the 60s, yeah, peace. Back in the 60s, we're fighting what? The Vietnam War and Tricky Dicky. And now we've got wars going on and we've got political, things going on that just
and we have peace going on all over the world. We have love happening everywhere. Every instant there is new birth coming into. I'm beginning to sound like Esther Hicks. Every minute there's a new baby born, a new grasshopper born. There is plenty of peace. Now, I'm in complete agreement with what Richard is saying as far as his intention behind this. And also what I see is that he has a desire, a divine desire to experience more peace and to also be active. And what he has done is he has gone into quiet meditation. He has done tapping. He's done visualization. And out of this, not from a rabid kind of gotta do this and this and this. He's just embraced this. And what has come to him is a sense of creativity, a sense of peace, a sense of joy, and some really nutty clothes.
Well, the whole idea of the nutty clothes is just to draw attention to it. You
Sure.
know, the media is picking up on things that are different. People dressed as the Statue of Liberty, with tears running down their face and stuff like that. It's like, so I'm dressing as peace, as a peace
Yes.
movement. I'm creating a peace movement. And
Yes.
so hopefully it's to draw people into my coalition. You can join by going to spiritualcoalition.org and sign up. Every weekend we get together, we create posters, we go to rallies, we talk about how we can make change in this country, how we can, start shifting our thinking and talking about what we want to create, not what we're experiencing. Focus on what you want, not what you're experiencing.
And so Mr. Smith is actively bringing the ideas of new thought into the cultural situation of our political environment in a way that is reverberating him through him in a very positive way. I was here for it because there was a period of time in the recent months where there was some stuff going on inside of you that was like, and it's like what you discovered in this pushing against, in this anger, in this concern, in this fear, doubt, worry, unfolded into a sense of more trust and more truth and your own identification with it. And that's the law working. That's what we're talking about. Happens within us, as us, through us, and it comes out in any kind of wonderful ways.
Yeah. And the law is infallible. You can't change it. It just takes what you give it and it creates out of that.
Yep. Yep.
And so that's what I'm giving it: peace and love and harmony and joy that I want to create in this country through the people, through us. That's how it works, through us.
And so, as a lot of people seem to be going, affirming what they want through fear, what you're doing, in my experience, and what I try to do in my day-to-day experience, is affirming through faith, affirming what it is that we're desiring to experience and express more consistently in our life. And what one of the things we were talking about, you don't put in an apple seed and expect an orange tree, but you don't put in an apple seed and then wait a couple of days and pull it out to see if it's growing.
Yeah, you trust.
You leave that in there, you surrender to it, you allow it, you nourish it, you allow the law to work through. So if you've got an idea, nourish it, love it, follow it, and allow it to blossom.
Yeah. Follow your dream. If you've been given a dream, then you've also been given the power to create it using the law.
Yep.
Infallible law, unchangeable.
And keep using your spiritual tools, please. That whole sense of visualization, meditation, tapping, affirmations, prayer, gratitude, and yes, forgiveness.
Yeah.
I was talking a little bit like Esther Hicks earlier. I got a quote here from the Abraham source, in that the law of attraction is responding to your vibration, not your words. Your words are pointing toward what it is that you're intending to vibrate. Your vibration is the one that the universe is really paying attention to, not the words. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. That's just lip service on top of the soil. It's not even getting the seed in. It's just, if there's got to be that feeling tone of what it is your intention is, from a place of trust and truth.
And that's what we're going to do in the inner circle. Get in the feeling tone. What do you got planned for the inner circle?
Well, we're going
different methods that we're talking about.
We're going to do a little tapping today in the inner circle.
Awesome.
I'm all about tapping. Love that tapping stuff. So we will see you. Thank you. See you next week for New Thought Tuesdays. It is a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you, Richard. And we're going to go into the Inner Circle.
How do they sign up for the Inner Circle so they can be
Oh, well, there's
reminded?
that too. You can go to www.newthoughttuesdays.com and you can uh, uh, click on Remind Me. There's a Remind Me thing, and we'll remind you a couple of gentle emails. Or if you'd like to become a member of the Inner Circle, if you are familiar with what it is we do, you can click and then go talk to Richard. And you guys can talk about how working on the Inner Circle, which is a membership situation, will work for you.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll see you there.
okay, see you later.
Okay. Take care.